of intelligence, inspiration, and has such a fabulous sense of humor. It's our pleasure at our program to be able to work with him every day. And so I'd like to welcome William Woods.
So I'm just glad that everyone chose to bring me on after you've been served after this amazing video, because this video tore me up. Tears were about to fall. It was like watching an episode of This Is Us. So, hello, so happy to be here. I just think about the discussions that we have with our scholars. You know, if you make a mistake, get up, think about your mistake, and try again. Or, you don't know how to do this task, you don't know how to do this task yet. These are just a couple of the things that we say to our scholars to inspire them to keep moving, keep pushing forward every day. This is also what I had to tell myself when Bonnie Kirkpatrick asked me to come up here to be a keynote speaker. So I had to make sure that I model the words that we give to our students and give to our scholars every single day. So thank you, Bonnie. I'm honored to be in this position. I'm honored to be the Scholars Program Educational Director. Why? Because one, I get to work with some amazing educators day in and day out. I mean, they're committed, they're loyal, they're wise, and just to see them working with the students each and every day, that's a highlight for me every moment I walk through the door. I also get to witness the inspiring stories of our scholars. They're hardworking, they're dedicated, they understand what it means to be a Bridge the Gap scholar, which means work hard, be prepared, and be kind. Yeah, they can be a little rough around the edges, but we love them just as they are. But more importantly, I think, when I think of Bridge the Gap, I think of home. When I think of Marin City, I think of home. Looking back to 1990, 1992, it reminds me of home. Marin City reminds me of home. So if you've ever been to Bridge the Gap, picture the way the houses are. Take away the green grass, replace that with dirt, concrete, broken concrete, and broken glass. Replace the basketball courts with milk crates that are nailed to a wooden light post. And unfortunately, there was no Bridge the Gap. There was no one to push my peers into being successful in education in our community. In order for me to get that, I had to go to school. Luckily, I had a quality school to attend, where the teachers worked tirelessly to make sure that we were challenged, we were motivated, and we knew what we needed to do in order to go to college. But I was a product of my community too, so I don't want this suit to fool you. I was rambunctious, I was the center of attention, and just to prove that, I actually had to bring proof. I brought my 2 report cards from 2nd grade and 5th grade. So let's just see what let's see what my 2nd grade teacher wrote about me, Miss A. Williams. William talks too much. William wastes too much time. William is still talking too much. And that goes on and on and on. And I mean, I made okay grades, B's and C's, but I was a social butterfly. That was my thing. That's what I wanted to do. But my mom said, not having it. Let's move across town. Let's go to another school. So fast forward 3 years later, I attended another school, and let's see what Miss Peggy Jumper had to say. Every 6 weeks, she said, honor roll, honor roll, honor roll, honor roll, honor roll. All E's and S's in conduct. So I think, okay, I got the hang of this academic thing. I'm good. My mama's smiling, I'm okay. But with that change, something else happened. I wasn't the social butterfly because I didn't know anyone. And that led me to be bullied in school in 5th grade, where some of my peers were calling me teacher's pet, nerd. They even called me gay. And that was hurtful as a 5th grader. Just to be called those names and not to be accepted by your peers is something that we see every day with our scholars. And as educators, we want to help them stand up for themselves. And luckily, I found that in Miss Moore, my 6th grade teacher. Miss Moore she knew how to get me energized and get me engaged in every single lesson. And I loved her, and I still love her to this day for it. But she had to sit me down to say, William, you are intelligent, you are respectful, but you cannot let these children pick on you. You have to stand up for yourself. And by the end of 6th grade, I was able to do that. And I appreciate every moment of that discussion. That's the reason why I feel as if I have to give back to a community of teachers that did so much for me. And I see that every single day at Bruce again. I mean, our teachers are so inspiring. Each and every one of them has a certain skill set to bring a student in and to keep them in and to keep them engaged. And I love them for it. Our scholars, boy, do I love our scholars. They are so loving, and you can tell that you're making an impact. Our teachers are definitely making an impact in their lives. And just to give a little piece of how we're giving an impact, in the short amount of time I've been here, I had one of our 7th graders, Michaela. I had to make sure she's not in here because the last time we talked, she asked us for the address, what time was the gala. So if you see Michaela, tell her to go back home and we'll see her Monday. But Michaela has had difficulties relating to males and building that connection with males. And for her to, in 8 months, be able to say, Mr. Woods, you're not leaving us? No, I'm coming back. I'm just going to get the other students. Okay, I love you. I'll see you later. I almost lost my mind because I didn't know that I had that much power to affect a student so much for them to give a male a chance, someone that they didn't think they could connect with a chance. And I appreciate every single moment with each and every one of our scholars because of that. So before I go, I was able to reach out to Miss Moore about 4 years ago and to have a quick conversation about that moment in 6th grade where I was being picked on. And she responded with, William, I remember that particular moment because it changed my life too. That year was my first year teaching, and seeing how you were being bullied by other students simply because you were obedient to your parents and teachers, I had to put a stop to it. You were never afraid of the bullies. You didn't want to disappoint your parents because they taught you the value of education, which is what each and every one of our teachers, our educators, do every day. And I specifically use the word educators versus the word teachers because a teacher can instruct you on how to perform a certain skill and learn it, whereas an educator can leave an impact that'll last a lifetime. So whether you are a teacher, whether you are a volunteer, a tutor, a staff person, a community leader, a parent, you are an educator in your own right. So give yourselves a round of applause. And lastly, as educators, we may never see the fruits of our labor. As educators, we may never see that acorn become an oak tree. But because I know the power of a quality education, I want to make sure that I give back by showing my past educators what this good old oak tree is up to. Thank you.
Hey, William, don't go away. You're getting a standing ovation. Don't go away. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our auction. Who's ready?